As I'm sitting here, I'm wondering, I'm asking myself a lot of questions. Um, how long are we still gonna hate our brothers and sisters? How long are we still gonna hate our black brothers, our melanin brothers, our African brothers? Because when I look at the division which has driven through between an African child, it's a serious one in a way that we end up forgetting who we are. And at the end of the day, we claim to be Christians, we claim to be believers in Christ, we claim to be believers in God. And our Muslim brothers, we might not see an eye to eye, but at the end of the day, they are God's people. And there's one other thing I need to emphasize. We need to respect each other. The most powerful thing that you can ever have is respect. If you have respect, you can open all the doors. You can enter each and every dimension of the world. So the problem is we, 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 we are too religious to a point where we forget who we are. We are too religious to end up not understanding where are we heading. And at the end of the day, we claim to be righteous in the eyes of the Lord, but not loving our brothers, but not loving our neighbors. Do we really understand the gospel of peace according to the Apostle Paul? We don't really understand. Now, if you claim to be a Christian, if you claim to be a Muslim, if you claim to be a man who is centered in the book, it doesn't matter whether it's a Quran, whether it's a Holy Bible. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. We are all people. We are all created under the sun by God Himself. And there's another thing that people does not understand. It is very dangerous to find yourself in the middle of a conversation where you have not done any research, and you find yourself uh, 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 responding to things that you don't really know. Commenting on things that you don't really know, it's very dangerous, because at the end of the day, it will leave you in a serious jeopardy. Like, for an example, we have our brothers, our Muslim brothers. At the end of the day, if you're too religious, you will separate yourself from those people. But let me tell you something. God respects a human being. God created a human being with His own image. So if you hate your Muslim brother, who are you? Are you God? If you hate your Hindu brother, who are you? At the end of the day, I am a Christian. And the reason I'm talking like this is because we went way too much away from our religion, and we ended up created hatred against our brothers because of religion. Religion has nothing to do with love. Muslim people love. We have love as Christians. Hindu people have love. At the end of the day, we are all under the umbrella of the Creator, God, Jehovah, Yahweh, the creator of everything. A lot of people have got this mindset thinking that Rastafari people, because of they smoke a ganja, they smoke dacha. I don't smoke, I don't drink. But at the end of the day, for you to be matured enough to understand the level of God, well, you can never understand to the fullest. You never understand the divinity of God. But for you to be someone who is a public figure, who is preaching the gospel of peace according to the Apostle Paul, you need to do your researches in order to understand and know where you are standing. Because at the end of the day, you'll come across people that will ask you questions, and the questions will be more into religion. And if you don't understand the fundamentals and the basement of love according to Jehovah, the way He understands love, the way He created love, you will find yourself criticizing other religions. You will find yourself criticizing other cultures. Before you can go broad to your cultures, before you can go broad to your religions, can't you go back to the drawing board and fundamentally start to put the roots and plant love? Because love has to be the base, has to be the fundamentals of everything and anything that we do. Because God, in His Bible, says the first principle is love your God with all you have, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all what you have. And the second principle is love your neighbors as much as you love yourself. So this is basically love that we need to apply towards every dimension, towards everything. Our religion doesn't have to take us away from the true love of God. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean the way I understand things, the way you understand things, has to differentiate me and you. At the end of the day, apart from religion, apart from cultures, we are still people. And we still have humanity in our hearts. And God has created us to love. So this message, I need people. I am a Christian. I need, especially as Christians, we have this mentality of dividing people. We see ourselves better than other people. Go and do your research. Because these people, they call Allah. Allah, who is Allah? Because you claim to be the holiest one, because you worship Yahweh, you worship Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Rohi, Jehovah El Shaddai. You worship Yahweh. You claim to be superior. Let me tell you something. These people, they call Allah. Allah is the creator of heaven and earth. As much as you call Jehovah, it's Allah in their language. And as much as you call him Yahweh, it's Allah in their language. As much as a song I call him Shikwembu, it's my language. As much as Abezulu Bati Unkulunkulu is their language. And when they call Allah, they are still calling the very same Jehovah that you are calling. So because you don't understand, you tend and say, these people, they worship Allah and I worship Jehovah. What is the difference? Well, we don't see things with a similar eye or the same eye, especially when it comes to the mediator. Let me tell you something. The Muslim family, they believe that Christ was on earth. They believe that he was a great prophet. They believe that he made wonders. And they believe that he was born from the Virgin Mary. But the fact that they don't agree to the ideology of Christianity, which says Jesus was the Son of God. That's where we differ. So as we differ, it doesn't mean that they are our enemies. It only tells us that we need to apply our divine mind. We need to ask God for the truth so he can guide us to the right platform. Because at the end of the day, they believe in paradise. And as much as we believe in paradise, they do believe in paradise. So at the end of the day, you need to do your research. If you understand what I'm saying. And they don't believe that he was crucified. So it doesn't have to create a war between the Muslim family and the Christian family. But at the end of the day, because we are under the umbrella of God, Jehovah himself, the only difference is that we are facing, the only thing we can have is to find a common ground. Because we have the common ancestry, which is Jehovah himself. We have the common land, which is paradise, where all of us, when we die, they believe that they go to paradise, as much as we believe that we're going to paradise. So what is the problem here? The problem is that they don't believe that Jesus was the Son of God, and they don't believe in that ideology, and they don't believe that he was crucified. That doesn't give us the right to judge, because the book says, the Bible that we read says, we need not to judge each other, because there's only one judge. For the book of 2 Corinthians 5:10, it says we are still going to go to the judgment seat of Christ, and after that we are still gonna go to the great judgment, the great white throne of Jehovah. That's my Bible that I read. So we are all still gonna go to the judgment. We need not to judge each other, but all we can do, we just have to make peace and harmony, find a common ground to live with each other, with love and peace, because we have common ancestry, which is Jehovah himself. If we don't have peace and love, what about those people that preached peace? You know, when I look at our black brothers in Jamaica, look at Bob Marley, the greatest. When you listen to his songs, he preached peace. One love, let's stand together and be all right. And there's this song that says, everything's gonna be all right. These people were in the struggle. They were under the oppression of the oppressors, under the oppression of the colonizers. Buffalo Soldier, go and do your research about the Buffalo Soldier. They put the black people in the front line of the army, pushing their own agendas for black people to be killed in order to protect the white people. I am not preaching hate here, but I'm stating the facts of the history. You are not who you are if there's no history. The history tells you who you are and where you come from. When you listen to the songs of Peter Tosh, these guys, they preached the truth. They preached the liberation. Go and look, Malcolm X, he died for freedom, for liberation. Tupac Shakur, he was a realist. They hunted him down to kill him for the truth. Now, I am here to tell you, my black brother, before you are a Christian, you are a human being. Before you are a Muslim, you are a human being. You have the heart of humanity in the inside of you. God has created you to love. Have love so that you can find the common ground to live with your brothers. There's a lot of people that have died for liberation, for the freedom of speech, like I'm talking right now. If I was talking in the early 60s, maybe by tomorrow I was gonna wake up dead. But now, the freedom of speech, it's a liberation. We are a little bit liberated to speak, but we are not liberated economically. We are not liberated when we are not liberated when it comes to the systems. The systems are ruling us. We are being ruled by the systems of the Europeans. Now, you are a black person. How come you hate your own Nigerian? How come you hate your own Ghanaian? How come you hate your own Zimbabwean? How can you hate your own brother, the Mozambicans? How can you hate your own? You know what? Get it in your thick skull that you are black. You shall never be white. It doesn't matter how educated you are. Doesn't matter how many degrees you have. At the end of the day, you are pushing the agenda of the colonizer. Let me tell you, I am a Christian. Before I'm a Christian, I'm an African. Before everything, I'm a human being. God has created me to have humanity and love. Forget about the rest. Preach peace. If you go back and look at the Muslim brothers, I'm